Just wanted to discuss a few things with you. I hope you hadn't gone away. I am back. Some of the things I wanted to discuss, I could not have added these topics in with the great discussion that we had with Miss Melanie concerning the local Whitehaven uh, event, the Whitehaven Republican Club. I want to discuss with you some things about Joseph Robin Biden, his son, and some of the other things that are happening in our country, things that are important to you. And the reason I feel that these things are important is because as long as we have the information we need in order to change the way things are occurring in our country, we are in control. We are able to not just sit back and be victims, but we can control what's happening. So I'm going to, when I come back, discuss, first of all, I'm going to talk about America sours on Bidenomics. And there are economists that are saying these have been the worst 5 years. This economy is worse than 5 years ago. Let's find out what they're talking about. The Hunter Biden bank records are predictably sleazy, according to the morning briefing. I wanted to discuss these things because we need to be aware. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. Thank you for joining me. You guys didn't go anywhere. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I wanted to talk about, I'll start out with Hunter Biden's bank records. And you're probably asking, well, why don't you discuss what's happening with President Trump and his indictments and things of that nature? The reason I don't or have not done that is because of this. Heck, that's all the media talks about. If there was not indictments concerning President Trump, and I'm not a judge, so I can't say if there is any merit to those indictments or not. But that's all that we hear on the news. So since we only hear that side of the story, let's talk about what's really happening that can hurt our economy, that can hurt our country, our economy, our economy. Biden's going around and he is trying to say, oh, this is the greatest economy since sliced bread. Well, I'm here to tell you that's categorically a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie, guys. And if you're still there, let me know if my volume is up. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Bear with me just 1 second. Let me get the right story up because I think you need to know that Biden is going around telling fibs. Oh, I think you already know that, don't you? You already know that Biden's going around telling fibs. You know why he does that? Because he's been lying for a long, long time. And you know what? Thank you, Ann, for being there. Yay, Ann. Thank you. How's my volume? Can you hear me now? Now that I don't have to share the mic? The reason Biden is doing this is because he thinks we're stupid. He thinks we are absolutely stupid. If he's going to sit there and tell a lie and there are no repercussions, he's going to continue to tell lies. And from what I understand about this guy, he's been telling lies for a long, 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 long time. Americans have soured on Bidenomics. And I have to laugh because many times I look at the little clips that are being shown, especially with black men. Black men are not being deceived. Black men are waking up in droves. Black men are beginning to say, I am not going to put up with this stuff. Biden has for years, assumed that we are stupid and whatever he says, we're supposed to believe it, irrespective of the evidence that proves that he's lying. The guy holds on to his lie. That is audacity. That is ultimate audacity. So Americans have soured on Bidenomics, including the United States economy, which is worse now than it was 5 years ago under former President Donald Trump's leadership. And this is what a lot of Black men are recognizing. And I'm not forgetting about us women, because I'm a woman too. And I knew, it didn't take me long. I knew immediately. I mean, first year that Biden was president, my 501, my 401, no, 501 was drained. My stock was drained. My insurance went out the roof. The price of gas went out the roof. The stores now are getting better instead in terms of stocking up on items to purchase. But when you do purchase them, the prices are out the roof. They are high. You know what? I think about it, because we don't really think about these little bitty things, but we need to pay attention to these details. Now, everybody purchases soap. I know, because when I'm around you, everybody I know purchases soap, because when I'm around you, I don't smell you. But have you noticed that used to be when I was a kid, you had a whole bar of soap and it was a perfect rectangle. And then they decided to cut into the soap. So they're cutting out much of the soap that you have purchased. And what is that supposed to do? It's supposed to make it convenient for you to hold in your hand so it won't slip out of your hand. But what they're doing is cheating you out of content, okay? I'm just using that one example to show how things are changing, how prices are going up, and you're getting less of the products that you pay for. Irrespective of their design strategies, you're getting less. Okay. The overall survey that was conducted by Reuters stated that Americans view the economic issues as some of the most pressing problems of the day. And I agree with them. Nearly 49% of Americans view inflation as the most important issue facing the country. And guess what's happening? The rates have been raised so much, so often in the last few years that Biden has been in office. They've got to a point they can't raise them anymore without totally crashing the economy on its head. Nearly 3/4 of Americans, at 73%, say that the economy is worse off than it was 5 years ago under Trump's leadership. People are admitting it. And the majority, 64%, also believe the economy is worse off than it was in 2020, when the coronavirus took a grip, forcing businesses to close. So back in 2020, they had an excuse. COVID-19 was the big thing, and businesses had to close at the behest of the government. Government needs to stay out of personal business, out of the pockets and out of the decisions that business owners make in order to grow their country. Their businesses. But they did. They stepped in, and they have made things worse for everybody. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about the economy? Are you being affected by the economy? Are things looking good? You can hear and understand me. Thank you, Ann. I don't understand why I could not hear her talk through our studio earlier. But anyway, I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad that you can hear and understand me. That's really good. Sometimes I can't understand me, but that's okay. That's quite okay. All right. The other topic I wanted to discuss. I wanted to discuss with you, don't want us to forget the Biden administration. A lot of people are saying, why is the U.S. House, the House members, why are they not present? Why are they not bringing Biden up on impeachment? Why? What are they doing? They're weak. They're cowards. And I do remember that your husband was let go because of the economy, and not just you. And your husband is extremely qualified. And he was let go, and he's had a lot of interviews, but he has not had any true offers. That's economically driven. I agree with you. I know that personally, and it makes me sick at my stomach. This person that we've elected in the White House, this person is hurting us. And our U.S. House members have not brought him up on impeachment, yet they brought President Trump up on impeachment twice, at least twice, or was it 3 times? Twice, for flimsy excuses. And they brought him up. You know, our House members are saying, well, we're not going to bring Biden up on impeachment charges now because there is a majority of senators who are Republicans, and the charges aren't going to go anywhere. But that did not stop Democrats. Even though there was a majority of U.S. senators ready to stop any impeachment charges against President Trump, that didn't stop the Democrats from bringing the charges because they wanted the effect and the embarrassment. Oh, and you said, and let me tell you, and I pray that this does not happen to you, and then I'll get back to talking about what I was talking about concerning why Biden has not been impeached. Ann says that her husband gets this message. Everyone say he's qualified and they can't pay what he's worth, overqualified. Well, Ann, I want you to know I ended up sleeping in my car, losing my home because I was overqualified, because I too was overqualified. And they probably hired 2 for the price that they would have paid me. But that's okay. I'm back on my feet. I'm doing good. And don't you guys give up, because things are going to turn around. This ship is going to be turned around. Fortunately for you guys, you've just got a year before things potentially would be turned around. I was caught under a Republican president as well as a Democrat president, and it took a long time for things to be turned around, long enough that I did end up sleeping in my car. But that's okay. I'm here. I'm still here. I'm surviving, and I've got the the wounds to show that I'm a survivor. What else are you saying, Ann? Yeah. Okay, so let's get back. So why doesn't the House members bring Biden up on charges? I mean, we all know the guy's a sleazeball. We all know that he received millions of dollars, and his son was not qualified to do anything in particular. But let me just share with you all. The morning briefing said the Hunter Biden bank records are predictably sleazy. There is a matter of timing. At the time that President Trump was brought up on charges brought up on impeachment charges, the Democrats had the support of the FBI, the State Department, and various other deep state agencies that supported their efforts. Senators, congressmen now, Republican House members don't have that going for them. But just wait, just wait. It's coming around, guys. It's coming around. This ship will be turned around. We just got to make sure that we have the right people in place to make it happen. Okay, so yesterday, the House Oversight Committee released bank records proving that Hunter Biden received millions of dollars in payments from Russia, Ukraine, and can't get my tongue, because that Kazakhstan. Somebody help me with that pronunciation, because I practice it and it's gotten away, but that's okay. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Their oligarchs were the ones that paid a total of $12 million to the Bidens. $12 million. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer released a memo presenting redacted bank records indicating that Hunter Biden and his business associates received millions from Russia and Kazakhstan oligarchs while Joe Biden was vice president. The memo highlights payments from Burisma Holdings, Russian billionaire Yelena Baturina, and Kazakhstani businessman Keniz Rakishay. Hey, I'm doing good. Along with the mentions of Vice President Biden attending dinners with them. He attended dinners with them. There are bank records, and you know what Joe says? It wasn't me. Nope, it wasn't me. One of the most stunning things about all of this is that Hunter Biden has no discernible skills related to business. I think he was an attorney. What business skills do attorneys have? Oh, they can tell their secretary or their law students or the people that work in their office, bill my clients. That's I guess that's a business skill. What you think? Not. You know, this author person that wrote this story says he's even skeptical that Hunter Biden was creating his own art that he was selling for $250,000 plus, despite not being able to do anything other than be a privileged party boy. He was a privileged party boy. Daddy was the senator. Daddy was the vice president. And now daddy is the president. And FBI, State Department, DOJ, y'all can't touch me. People from all over the world are throwing cash at Hunter Biden's mediocrity. Of course, everyone in the left media, that means CNN, that means NBC, ABC, CBS, C-SPAN, MSNBC, and all of those other left-wing media types lack the curiosity to question, now why would a foreign oligarch be willing to give a dullard like Hunter Biden tens of millions of dollars, even though they quit practice, when it comes to bias? It's going to be difficult for them to keep pretending that Papa Joe wasn't involved in any of this. Was Papa Joe involved in this? I asked that question. You tell me what you think. Was Joe Biden? Oh, hi, Bill. Bill says he would just add that the only reason Joe Biden is president is because he was inaugurated. The man damn sure was not elected. Whoa. You said a mouthful, Bill. You know, people disregard what Joe Biden said. Give me a second. Um, People are trying to say that the video, you know, people discount Joe Biden all the time. I mean, Joe Biden um, stated that he had people to fire the DA, and now the media is saying he didn't say that. No, Joe Biden says we put together the most extensive voter fraud organization in American history.
We have put together.
I want you all to hear this. You know, when they tell you what they're doing, you know,
we have put together.
When they tell you what they're doing, believe them. That's what they tell me. Believe them. And Joe Biden has said in his own words, I want you all to hear this. You're not stupid. What he's saying is the truth. The media.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of.
We put together the most extensive, inclusive voter fraud organization. And what he's going to say, he's not going to just lay claim to it for himself. He's also including that somebody else used that system. Listen to this.
American politics.
Okay, in this segment, he's not covering it. But what he said was, he said they used it before in the Barack Obama campaign. And as you listen to the news, you're going to hear more and more and more about this, because there was election fraud discovered in Michigan. You're going to hear more and more about that. Joe Biden was not lying when he said that they put together the most inclusive, extensive voter fraud organization, basically in American history, because he had to come up with a whole bunch of votes. And on my next segment, I'm going to present to you and explain to you what the name of this organization is and what they actually did. And they earned over $11 million to win this election for Joe Biden. And there has been research done to find their headquarters. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, you would not believe this. Their headquarters in Michigan was a rundown duplex. So I'm going to bring this information to you all, maybe during my next show or maybe sooner, because this is hot and you're going to be hearing more and more about it. This election fraud stuff is going to come out. And if my show gets kicked off the air, it's only because I said the word election fraud. Somebody took time. Oh, Bill says, hey, Charlotte again. This is Bill again. I know this isn't all the topic, but it is related to the fraud that you're talking about. I believe that electoral college needs to be changed to one vote per county instead of one vote per representative as it is now. That would ensure that there was no regionalization at the state level, which is what the electoral college was intended to do at the federal level. For instance, in Michigan, as you referenced, They have 83 counties, Trump 177 counties. Biden won 5, but he won Michigan because the 5 counties that he, the 5 counties were most heavily Democratic. 1 vote for county with all that, but the Democrats want it happening because there probably would never be another Democrat politician elected president if they did that. I tell you what, I'm going to predict today, August the 10th, 2023, that they're going down, buddy. They are going down. Their fraud is going to be exposed. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for not leaving my first show. And I hope you are able to see both shows. I'm going to upload them, this second one, to Rumble. So you'll be able to catch this show on Rumble, on Truth Social, on Gab, on Telegram, on Twitter, and wherever my show airs. I thank you all for your support. I thank you all for joining me. I thank you for caring about this country. I thank you for being in this war that we're in, and we're fighting for our children. And the way we fight for our children is to open our mouths and talk about it. Disinfectant, sunlight reaches and drains and exposes the corruption. And the corruption has to be exposed in order for it to stop. We are not dumb, Joe Biden. We know what you're doing, and we are ready and willing to fight for our country and to fight for our children. And I, too, will predict here today, God has not given up on us, and we have a role to play, that when we get into the fight to make this nation better, it will change. And I keep going back to 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. Then will I forgive their sin. And guess what, guys? He's going to do some land healing around here. And that's what we're looking for. And I believe that things are going to improve. But we are waking up. And it's just exciting to me. I'm not a Debbie Downer, but I believe that the power is in God, and God will bless our land because there are so many people waking up. So thank you for joining me this week. I've enjoyed talking with you guys. I've got to let you go because I've got more meetings to attend to today, but I've enjoyed being with you all. Appreciate your support. God bless each and every one of you.